Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe. One thing I want us to really get out there in the open is the damage that does get caused to us. Sometimes, we start wondering, am I the narcissist? And there's a reason we're starting to feel that, because we're reacting differently than our norm. We see the traits in our narcissist, and in all our research, we're seeing those signs, symptoms, red flags, the way they're acting. And we reflect on us because we want to understand what happened. We do still have an empathetic heart if we're starting to figure things out and take accountability. Like we're trying to figure out what we did wrong. That's where the empathy comes in. The narcissists, they don't really process what they did wrong because they just don't care. It's just too overwhelming for them. But we see the traits that we've taken on, and we've taken that on as a reaction to the abuse that we've gotten. So that's called reactive abuse. But we have to remember, like, we're intelligent people. The narcissist got their abuse, their tactics, as a reaction to what they went through. So they started getting the brain damage, needing to go into survival mode, because they were in that situation as a child. A lot of times you can't get out of the situation you're in with the child. You just have to survive it. You're stuck in that house till you're 18, unless you run away or whatever, but they're stuck. And they're just trying to make it through. That's the person who's feeding them. That's the person who dictates whether they have clothes, or if they can hang out with other people, or how their hygiene, if they have cavity, are they going to be taken care of? So they need to make sure that this is the best it can be, and they learn to manipulate the outside world because of what they went through. They can't process things the right way because of the brain damage, the lack of empathy. They're just in that survival mode. So we are now often going into that survival mode. We are crying, ruminating, trying to fix, how do we get through the day at work? We're starting to get into survival mode. And that's where it's really important to break the cycle. So I don't suggest staying in the relationship, but break the cycle. No contact is the best way to break the cycle. And because of the devaluation stage already, it's going to be real hard to keep at that level of a broken cycle, because now the narcissist knows how to push buttons, and you got to be really strong. That's why it's not good to continue on with the relationship, because they know the little tricks, and now they're craving pushing your buttons. But we react, and we can start to develop things. And as our brain is being shrunk, and the chemical or the electrical impulses that are going on, we're damaging our brain. And we're feeling terrible, depressed, or, we're not eating the right way. We're starting to get health problems. And thank you to one of my comments that I got from a viewer is, they no longer have acid reflux. And I believe they are over their diabetes, that their blood sugar levels started getting back on track, to where, we're physically and mentally damaging ourselves. And there is healing that is available. The sooner you get out, the more chance you have of getting back to who you were. And that's the most important part, because I know a lot of you guys miss who you were. And that's who you showed your narcissist. So right now, your narcissist no longer knows you, because you're different as well. You don't know your narcissist because it was all a facade. So if you're thinking about fighting for this relationship, you're fighting for somebody who didn't exist. And the narcissist is fighting to get back who they destroyed. But once you destroy something, it's really hard to get that back. So it's a big mess. But the most important part I'm trying to say in this video is we can risk becoming narcissistic. We can pick up traits. We're going through things that will destroy our personality. I was going towards my degree for criminal justice, and I don't know the person to analyze them in depth, but it was a terrible thing to say. She was in a very abusive relationship. And she had said during class, she said, the only reason I am staying with him is for the opportunity to kill him. Like, she wanted revenge that bad. So please take that to heart. Like, I'm sure when she went into this relationship, she was not premeditating murder and premeditating a way to get out of it. She could leave the situation, but she chose to stay, to take that opportunity to hopefully kill him. Now, whatever happened with her, I don't know. We made it through class. I never heard from her again. Usually in class, you don't even really know people's names. So it changed her that strong to where she wanted to kill him. Some of you are going through anger to where, you might have a split second poor decision where that happens. Or you key their car, or you're smashing their window, or you start playing games with the kids, like, withholding the kids, or if you're in a situation where you're continuing on with them, you're holding back sex and causing problems, and it can be so destructive, because that's one of the tactics that the narcissist uses. So now you're taking on their tactics, and your thoughts become who you are. Your thoughts become your actions become your destiny. And you got to change the thoughts, because that changes your actions, and that changes your destiny. It's a very important thing to snap out of the cycle. It's best to remove yourself from the situation, to not look back, to don't stalk their Facebook pages, because pictures are just pictures. There's always a different story behind closed doors. And just like the picture is a facade, the picture is a door. You see the outside, the pretty paint, or the red paint on the door, or the beautiful family picture, but you don't see what's behind it. And you can get jealous over a painted red door, but you don't know what's really on behind the scenes. So you see the picture and you're jealous of it, wishing, why couldn't I have that? So do you really want a facade, or you remember what the relationship was like, the coldness, the games, the gaslighting? So heal, the sooner the better. There are struggles. There are times, you just want the pain gone. So you'll take on a Hoover, or you'll reverse Hoover back to where, you try to get back with them. Just be aware of the damage. Unless a narcissist is willing to change, their tactics won't change. Remember, the thoughts become their actions. If their thoughts are the same to where they don't want to change, their actions are always going to be damaging. And what's it lead for the destiny? And, there's things we can't control in the past. There's a lot of things we can have some control in the future. We can set our goals and try to achieve them. They don't always work out, but goals keep you in motion. And there was something that said, when you share your goals, it kind of takes away the motivation to achieve them. So set your personal goals, and keep yourself accountable. For some psychological reason, it's almost like maybe if you state it, you feel you've already kind of accomplished it. Keep your goals on track within yourself. Healing. Sometimes if we talk about our feelings to the wrong people, we're not getting the help that we need. So when you talk to somebody who you're hoping will help you through this, make sure they understand. Narcissistic relationships are so different So if you're talking to a healthy person, they're going to tell you that you're like, just leave them. Like, what's the big deal? They're not going to have that empathy towards us because they're going to see it as a different thing. And that's like, it's almost like a reverse narcissist where they can't relate. And we need somebody to relate. We've just come out of a relationship where we needed to relate so bad, and they didn't have the empathy because they couldn't relate it in something in their, because sympathy is when you can kind of understand. If I'm like, I was in a plane crash, you're like, that probably sucked, but probably got hurt. But if you're like, I don't know what this feels like when you're, in a nosedive, or I don't know what, well, nosedives are pretty inevitable. But if you're going down on an angle, to where, I'm telling you how frightening it was. But if you're just sympathizing with me, you're like, I get it, Cindy, I get it. Okay, it was scary. I get that. And I told you, I'm sorry you went through it. But if you can relate to it, that's what we need. We need somebody to really understand us so they can help guide our thoughts with the right perspective. And that's why it's great that you guys are doing your research on how to handle this, what we're thinking, what went wrong, why do we care anymore, why do we love our abuser. We've become almost like dependent on their approval because we've been wanting them to validate our feelings for so long that if you reach out to the wrong friend who can't relate, they're not going to be able to validate your feelings and then help guide you past, what do we do now? You're just going to keep craving this validation, some understanding, because if you don't understand something, you don't know how to proceed correctly. So becoming narcissistic is a risk. You will definitely develop traits. It will destroy your relationships with other people. It'll destroy moving on. You're going to bring that baggage into a new relationship. So definitely work on yourself. Take the time to unpack that baggage. You might be left with some scars. So there's going to be some struggles that you're going to have to work around and be a little bit more mentally aware of dealing with your new partner. But do not allow yourself to continue shrinking your brain and risking the narcissist is going to end up alone. Even if they have people in their home, they're going to be alone. They're empty inside. They just take. And when they take, it doesn't fill them. They just throw it away. They're like, thank you, throw it away. Thank you, throw it away, as opposed to being able to absorb it. They don't have the capacity anymore to absorb it or to appreciate it. And you deserve to be appreciated. And since you're at this stage, you do have empathy. You do have empathy, or a desire to change. Some of you might be watching this to kind of decide, am I really a narcissist? What's going on with me? I don't feel as I should. We both end up with pain, and people will be drawn to your kindness, and those are the people that are going to stick around. Narcissists are lucky because they get to put up that facade. People are attracted to the facade, but as far as staying with them, they're not going to stay with them, or it's just not going to be healthy. There's going to be the reactive abuse and a big mess. But you might have a harder time because you're not this grandiose person putting on a facade. So it might seem harder to make friends, but the friends that you make are going to be the true friends. And also, don't cut yourself down when you do meet people. Portray the best part of you. Don't portray the poor me syndrome. That's what the narcissist does. Look on the positive, like this is what I'm looking forward to doing. This is what I enjoy doing. This is who I am. So pull from your inner soul on the things that you enjoy and put a smile on. Fake it till you make it. But be true to who you are. You know, if you need help, if you need a hug, it's okay to tell people that. It is okay to connect with people. Be open with them, you know, but you know, you could tell my, oh, I just broke up from a bad relationship, and I'm looking forward to moving on. Things like that, instead of focusing on the past, focus on the future, and you'll do a lot better in life. So just be aware how many narcissistic traits you're at risk of picking up, and the risks of what that leads for your destiny. So in ending, remember, your thoughts become your actions become your destiny. And just change your thought processes and it all fall into place. Keep looking at the positive, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day. Please like and subscribe. One-on-ones are available.